welcome to livealittlehigher.com. This week we read Parashah Vayishlach, and the name of the Parashah Vayishlach means he sent. And it's referring to how Yaakov sent messengers to meet his brother Esav when he was going back to the land of Israel to make sure and see that the brother, in what mood he was, if he was going to kill him, if he was for war, or if he was excited to see him. He wanted to know what was going on. So literally Rashi says that these messengers were angels that he sent, and they were his agents. So there's a beautiful, beautiful siha of the Lubavitcher Rebbe where he talks about this idea of shlichus, which is contained, that word shlichut is contained in the word Vayishlach, which means emissary, agent, someone that is going to do a job for you. So it talks about empowerment and purpose, and he says that there's three conceptions of an agent's function. Today, if you look, there's very much into these ideas of agents, AI, artificial intelligence. They already have programs where you can create your own agents, which are extensions of you that are programmed to do work that you don't have time to do. And you organize it so, like for example, in a doctor's office, you can have an agent that's going to take the calls, and he's going to make the appointments for the doctor, and he can do everything like if he was an extension of the doctor. So this idea of agents really, although it comes thousands of years ago, really it's becoming more relevant in our days, where we can come to understand that you can delegate your job to someone that is going to act like if it's you. So there's this concept of the conceptions of an agent's function, and it says that an agent has a responsibility, like a person needs to delegate, and we know that any successful businessman doesn't do everything by himself. Like a person that is successful is a person that has the capacity to delegate. He's not doing everything. He's not a one-man show. So there's three different conceptions of the relationship between the person that delegates. Here it's the word given to it in Hebrew is mashelach, and the agent, which is the shliach. So one, an agent is considered an independent entity and must take responsibility for the deed he performs. So for example, a person has a business and he needs an accountant, and he needs a person that sells, and he needs a person that is gonna buy the material, and he needs another person that's gonna be a designer. All these people are gonna be working under the CEO of the company, and everybody has a different task, and everybody has a different flavor, everybody has a different makeup, but at the end of the day, each one of them is responsible for the job that is assigned to them. Also, the agent is considered an independent entity. This is very important, that every agent has independence, in the sense that if a person has like he's a very nice person, or he's a very professional, or he's funny, each person has their own flavor, and he's gonna do his job according to his makeup. And then it's implied by the simple meaning of the expression, a person's agent is considered as the person himself. An agent is considered to be an extension of the principal, a long hand. He's like a long hand. And in this regard, every aspect of an agent's being is associated with the principal. So for example, if you go to have dinner at a restaurant, and the server was not a good server, and you had terrible service, you're not going to say the server was horrible. You're going to say that restaurant has bad service. So what it's saying is that the place is going to be associated with the owner of the place, not with the agent. So here it says that there's two features that are common to all three perspectives. And one is that the agent's ability to act on behalf of the principal depends on the principal's empowering him to do so. So yes, you have people that work in businesses, for example, and for them to delegate is very hard. and they're not able to give the other person the status that he needs in order for him to do his job. So therefore, if an agent deviates from the instructions of his principal, his agency is revoked. Like a person is not doing his job the way the owner of the business wants the job to be done, he's gonna fire him. It's done. I'll look for someone else. And second, to be successful, an agent must use his own abilities, devoting his intellect and energy to the task at hand. For even an agent who acts as an extension of the owner of the business, appreciates that in fact he's separate entity. So yes, the difference, whatever he has to bring to the table that makes him special, the boss of the business is going to appreciate that this person has these certain qualities. So these concepts have parallels in our divine service in the world. So for every human being is an agent of God, and he's entrusted with a responsibility of bringing the world to its desired perfection and to making this world a dwelling place for Hashem. So we all come into this world. We are agents of God. Hashem invested in everybody a soul. He has these neshamas, these souls that he has, and he puts them in bodies, and he gives up each person their own qualities, capacities, intelligence, beauty. Every beautiful quality a person has was given to him by God, and the not so good qualities too. But in reality, we're all entrusted with a portion in this world to perfect. Everybody on their own, in wherever they live, in their circle of friends, of family, their jobs, people they meet randomly. This is a part of the world that needs to be perfected, and you are an agent of God. You are at his service. You are like an extension of Hashem. It's more, in chapter 23 of the Tanya, the Alter Rebbe explains that when we're doing mitzvot, when we're doing the mitzvahs that Hashem has decreed for us, the commandments, the 248 positive commandments, we are like agents of God. We're becoming, when we're doing a mitzvah, if we're extending our hand to give to the poor, that hand is like a hand of God. Like you are an agent of God. Every time you're doing a mitzvah, you are acting on behalf of God. So in accomplishing this task, we must remember that we're only agents, and the world is God's dwelling, and he has outlined his plans for the functioning of that dwelling in the Torah's teachings, and any other conception, however beneficial it may appear, is a deviation from our mission. So Hashem has a plan. Hashem has, he wants to bring the world to a certain place, and you have free choice. You can choose to be an agent of good, or you can be an agent of bad. Whatever it's going to be, Hashem is going to give you the opportunity to be of service to him. So nonetheless, God expects us to use our own initiative to accomplish this task, for life is not a textbook, and the practical application of the Torah and its mitzvot in the particular environment where we live, and the situations that we have to go through in life, that we have to experience, it requires that we use our own minds, and we use our hearts, and we use our capacities to be able to fulfill Hashem's desire in the fulfillment of his plan for the world. So as we apply ourselves to our mission, we also internalize it. Not only do we affect change in the world, but while we're affecting change in the world, we're also affecting change on ourselves. For example, the Rambam teaches that and the Alter Rebbe expounds on it, that it's better to give $1 a day in tzedakah than to write a check of $100 in 100 days. Why? Because the act of giving every day, constantly, not only affects the world, but it also changes you. It's going to make you a more conscious person, a person that is going to be more aware when you see people that are in need. It's going to make you a giver. It's going to open your compassion towards others. So just as an agent must be identified with his principle, we must give ourselves over to God's will and identify with it. The extent of the identification differs from person to person, and this respect in three conceptions of shlichut mentioned above can be seen as three different approaches to divine service. And we know there's tzaddikim, there's people who are righteous, like Yaakov, our forefather, Abraham, Isaac, Moshe Rabbeinu. These were people that were very righteous. And then there's people like us that we are not in that status of righteousness, but we can live in a way that our actions and our behavior are like the behavior and the actions of the tzaddikim. And this is our job. This is our choice also. So for the mitzvot we perform are not human acts. When we are doing a mitzvah, we're not doing something that is human. We're connecting to the divine. And so a person who performs them selflessly expresses the inner desire of Hashem. So every time that you do something that God desires for the world, for example, to be compassionate, to be merciful, to open your home and bring classes of Torah to your home, to keep Shabbos, to keep kosher, all these things. Every time that a Jew performs one of these mitzvot, in reality he's connecting to the divine will of God. And there's individuals at even lower levels that are not like the tzaddikim, that this would be us, but when we behave in a way in which we do what Hashem desires from us, we go with His will, then in our behavior, in our actions, we emulate the tzaddikim. So it doesn't matter what type of a person you are. It doesn't matter if you're a learned person or an unlearned person, or you're a tzaddik or a regular human being. What is important here is that we connect to the mission, and we know that we have a purpose and we have something to fulfill in this world, which is to bring this world to perfection through the acts that God decrees for us to fulfill. So this is the message of this Parashah of Vayishlach, that everybody is a shlucha, everybody is an agent of God, and that we are in this world to be representatives of Hashem. With our qualities, with our good parts, with our bad parts, it doesn't matter, but we are here to represent Hashem. So there's a very interesting concept that the Rebbe Lubavitch, when 50 years ago he decided that he was going to send all these shluchim all around the world, all these emissaries, to open Chabad houses around the world, so they could bring Yiddishkeit, they could bring Judaism to the most remote places. He sent to Thailand and to Vietnam and to India and all these crazy places. And Hashem, and people said, this rabbi went crazy, like the Rebbe is really crazy. How is he sending these young couples to live in these remote places where there's nothing, there's no kashrut, there's nothing? How in the world does he think that these people are going to stick to the plan? How are they going to keep being kosher and Shomer Shabbat? They're going to assimilate. And the Rebbe said, no, because when you go with a purpose and you go with a mission, and you're empowered to be my hand, like the one that's going to fulfill what I'm dreaming of being fulfilled, then when a person has a purpose and has a mission, he's not going to be taken over by the secular lifestyles of the places where they go. They're going to keep being who they are because they're empowered. They know why they're there. They have something to do there. They're part of God. They're bringing Hashem's revelation to that part of the world. So there's something beautiful that he finishes off saying, is that the word shliach alludes to the consummation of the mission, And the numerical equivalent, we know that in the Hebrew letters and the words, there's always gematria, there's numerical values, is number 10. And this equals to the numerical equivalent to the word Mashiach. And so this implies that Mashiach, for him to come to this world, it requires that every person dedicates himself and his 10 powers of the soul, which are 3 intellectual and 7 emotional. We have wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, and we have 7 emotional powers, which are love and kindness. We have Gevura, which is justice. You have Tiferet, which is beauty, harmony. Netzach is resilience. Hod is humility. Yesod is bonding, foundation, and Malhut means dignity, kingship. And when a person uses all these superpowers that are given to him to bring divinity to the world, to bring godliness into the world, then it says that that is what's going to bring Mashiach. So our efforts to spread the awareness of God throughout the world and have the awareness permeate every individual will precipitate the coming of Mashiach. When the earth will be filled with the knowledge of God, just as the waters cover the ocean bed. So this should be soon, it should be in our days. Everybody has the power, everybody can be an agent of God, an agent of goodness, to bring revelation into this world, to make the world a place that is sensitive to godliness, to spirituality, to kindness, to love, to doing good things in the world. And when everybody will be busy doing these things, then the ultimate revelation will be part of our reality. So I want to wish you a blessed week, and remember, live a little higher. Thank you.